On.
Nothing much. I'm just hanging out, doing some good work. It's good to see you. How's your week going? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. Yeah, it's off to a great start. It's off to a great start. Yeah, I published a little intro thing, but it felt really good.
Mm,
Have tons of writing in the docket,
mm,
and
love it.
yeah, so feels really good.
Nice. Yeah, I love it. I had a call with Lindsay today, new member in the community, and she's really great. I mean, she's like growing food all over her house. It's like growing like pineapples and like water. Um, she makes like oregano oil for herself. Like
Mm,
she's like just got a storefront where she's gonna do like community workshops and stuff like that, and kind of like a, I guess, like spiritual store, which is pretty cool. Um,
yeah,
so that was
yeah,
good today. And then yeah, just focusing on content creation and like moving the needle.
right,
What about you?
right,
Tell me, how's
yeah.
your content journey going? I know that's something that's like quite important for you.
Yes, yes. So, I'm definitely getting a lot of good feedback. For me, it's just about that consistency, that continuity.
Mm,
Doing it, early in the morning, right after my morning practices, when I'm most alert after I've been journaling for a while. So, it hasn't been as consistent as I would like to get it up to. I'm kind of moving back and forth between that and doing some contracting work. Um, a lot of people have been reaching out to me for like web design and branding things, so I've been
okay.
kind of focusing on that stuff as well.
What's your main gig right
But
now?
yeah, so it's mainly going back and forth between those two things.
Web design is a big thing.
Yeah, and I tell people too, because I have a lot of professional experience in that. And I'm happy to share that and help other people who I align with those services. But I also tell them, like, I don't want to be known as Joshua the web designer. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with these people, and
Mm,
it's really great. But I would like to get to a point where I'm moving past that a bit.
mm,
Um, but they keep coming in, so I'm also taking that sign as well. Like, okay, let's just keep, moving forward, and
yeah,
it's playing out exactly as it should.
yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah,
And building a social media audience is kind of a big goal, right? Moving into like
yeah.
online business and
Hmm.
having building a following and being able to sell digital products and services. That's kind
Right.
of a big thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's number one, honestly, for me,
Yeah,
if
for
I'm
sure.
being honest with myself. And if I'm really being honest with myself, I haven't necessarily treated it like it's the number one thing,
Right.
you know. And that's the only reason. And I've worked with, obviously, I hear from you. I've worked with some other people who are like, you know, man, the content is there, like the message is there. You just gotta, people just gotta have the opportunities to see you. And yeah, we're rewarded for consistency and just getting on and just speaking.
Yeah.
Um, and I can kind of get lost in a lot of people do in all of the videos talking about algorithm hacks and do all this and the hooks and everything. And what I keep coming back to, or what the voice inside is saying, is like, man, just focus on your energy.
Mm,
Just focus on your energy, because that's what people connect with the most, even if they don't
right.
consciously realize that. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And it's
so yeah,
just getting the reps in, right? And like what
yeah,
once you with content creation, you just have to make a bunch. Like volume is so important.
make a
And
bunch. Yeah.
I've been telling like I've been going live a lot and I've been just telling my audience like post, everybody should be posting content. This is
Yeah.
like the future of work. There's so much massive arbitrage opportunity. Like
Yeah.
it's just beginning. Creator economy is just getting started. And guess what, Josh? This is content right here. Like you and I are recording a podcast right now, and
Right.
I'm gonna download this and I'm gonna send it to you so that you can put it on YouTube. And like that's what we're gonna
Beautiful.
do. And it doesn't
Heck yeah.
it doesn't have to be like content creation, like where you go out of your way to make content. Document your life.
Right.
Um,
Right.
one of, like I'm literally live on TikTok right now,
Yeah.
right? So you should go like going live on TikTok, make it a part of your life, man. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not interacting with them as much as I would usually because I'm on this call. Um,
Sure.
but Gary V, like this guy just has his live open, and he
Right.
just always has his voice on, like propagating into the virtual ether.
Right.
And that's what we have to do is like make it easy for ourselves. We can't make it
Make it
so hard.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lower the bar.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, and just like that sort of perfectionism, that procrastination, like I realize that that's a symptom of a root cause. It's not the actual problem. The root cause is those feelings that I talked about before. Oh, I'm not coming on with the right energy, or I don't know what I'm saying, or I don't know how to articulate what's in my mind correctly. All these things. Um, and it's just about just letting those things go and doing it anyways, because, all these aspects of fear are our teacher, are our ways of moving forward, of progressing. Um, and yeah, like I said, I'm getting great
Mm,
feedback. It's just about the reps, like you said, just like going to the gym, just doing it over and over
yeah.
and over again. So,
Mm,
absolutely.
yeah. And um yeah, I mean we're in a very similar boat, man. And like what I'm doing is like, first of all, weekly essay, right? I know you just started your newsletter, your Substack, which is great. Like I just write that weekly essay, and it's more not even more for content creation, like because I found that it doesn't, like the YouTube videos that I make from it are pretty good. Yeah, I like them. I like the content. But what I'm actually finding is that they're more useful for my self-improvement. Like writing an essay every week, man, it's like spiritual practice.
100%. 100%. It's all intertwined, right? This whole journey of entrepreneurship is a self-growth journey. It will reveal to you all of your shadows, so to speak, or your
Hmm.
limiting beliefs that you may not have known that you've had before taking that jump, and which is a great thing because that's the first step
Yeah.
of improving is the awareness,
Yes.
you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it takes time, man. Like for everybody listening as well, like that there's this idea going around that like success needs to be fast and that you can get success in 6 months, even a year. Like that's BS. I have not, like, at least in my experience, like I'm
Mhm.
over trying to seek quick results. It's so important to find something that is real, that is worthwhile, that's meaningful to you,
Yeah,
and like aim for success in 3 to 5 years.
right,
And with something like content creation, that's you have to operate from that perspective. And like
right.
if we think of our entire like journey, like your high school journey was 4 years, your college journey was 4 years. Can you put yourself now in another 4 year journey and
Mhm.
like say,
Mhm.
okay, within in these 4 years, I'm going to get to this vision. I
Right.
think if we do that, we access so much more patience and groundedness and power, because most people are like they have the time perception of like a mosquito or a fruit fly. Like it's like because we're constantly like scrolling, there's so much information coming at us,
Yeah.
time just moves fast. We can't stick to something for a week, let alone a year, let alone a
Yeah.
decade. So that long perspective is so crucial.
Absolutely. With everything. With everything. And I know that you and I have both interacted a lot with the work of Dan Coe
Yeah.
as well. And just that aspect of writing a newsletter, being able to turn that into a podcast with you basically having the script for that, recording yourself, being able to put that on YouTube, cutting up or making shorts about, because so it can all come from one piece. I'm not having to just keep making new and new and new content. I can focus on one sort of subject for an entire week
Mm,
and hit everything. So that's super helpful as well.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I found doing that is like the YouTube videos that I create are a little more stifled, because I'm like, yeah, I wrote a quality essay for the week, right? But it's like, okay, I thrive just riffing and like having a
Yeah.
conversation. So
Yeah.
like something I'm trying to parse is like, okay, I want to write these essays, I want to make a YouTube video from them, but at the same time, podcasts, it's like such a powerful YouTube
Mhm.
video. There's your YouTube video, bro. What are we talking
Right.
about right now? We're talking about manifesting our vision, how we're doing it. This is
Yeah.
valuable information, and we just have to propagate this out into the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also, for me, just publishing that newsletter was such a weight off my back. It seems like such a small thing, but as soon as I published it, I got a sale from my product, and I do see a
Good for
connection
you.
there, just being in
What is your
that
product, by the way?
state. The Lifestyle Design Lab, that
Mm,
it's that comprehensive Notion template for creating your life vision and managing your business and content creation all in one place.
mm,
Um, so
congratulations.
something that's thank you. Yeah, something that's super helpful for me. And I know that if I can get one sale, I can get however many I want. I can get 1,000. It's the same process. Um,
More of
so
that,
that's a
bro.
big deal. Yeah.
More before we do better, before we do something else, we got to do more of that. Get that one cell 10 times. And then we figure out how to do better. And then we figure out how to do
That's
other
right.
things.
Yeah,
Same thing here, man. Like,
absolutely.
and it takes a long time. Like, our only responsibility as beings in this universe is to focus on becoming the kind of person who would get the results. Like,
Right.
focus on the habits, focus on the self-education, focus on doing the things that your higher self would do, the content creation, the promotion. Just do those things
Yeah,
and let the universe like handle the outcomes. That will come in
that's right.
time, but we really have to occupy the identity of our higher self for like, you know, a year, 2, 3, 4 years before
Yeah,
things kind of like start
yeah,
to get
that's right.
going.
Even a week, even just a week, just to get those reps in for a week. And I personally, I've seen, oh, I'm building momentum now, because that's really the biggest thing for me is once I feel that momentum, like I started doing a new morning practice. And I committed to just doing for a week. And now it's already being ingrained in me. And now it feels
Mm,
weird to not do it,
wow.
you know? Um, so that's a
Mm.
big deal.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited. Something that's coming up for me. It's like I feel like we're a mirror for each other because I think we're on a similar journey. In the content creation, building a business. Like, let's partner, bro. Let's help
Yeah.
each other. Let's stay accountable to the vision
Right.
because this path that we're on of like creating content, doing TikTok, writing good essays and newsletters, it's such a powerful path for our impact, our fulfillment in the service we're rendering. Our income is like infinite, right?
Right.
If we can stick to it and like really treat this as like the main thing for 3 years, man, like we can build
Hmm.
an audience of 100K, 250K, a million, no doubt.
Hmm. Hmm.
When that happens, like your capacity to manifest, not just by yourself, but like as a group, like, really creating change in the world is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's kind of like a digital Maharishi effect, if you ever heard that term
I've not
before.
heard that. That sounds pretty
So the
awesome though.
Maharishi effect is, and they've studied this, and it's when a group of people get together to like meditate or something, and it's a large group
Mm,
of people, and they've compared that action with like all of a sudden crime in the area goes down and like all of these weird things start happening, and you can even apply it to like going to like a music festival or someone, and everyone's like elated feeling the music. Like that is super super powerful, and it's exponentially powerful the more
Mm,
people who are aligned with it. So it's kind of the same. I see it as kind of the same with building an audience too. The more and more people that you can get to become part of your community, the stronger that energy is, and the
mm,
more you're able to do with that. Um,
mm. Dude,
so
so sick. We're gonna do retreats together. Like we're gonna connect in person for sure, man. Like love your
yeah,
energy. So
for
easy to
sure.
talk to you because we're very similar. The Maharashi effect, so powerful. It just goes to show that like we're cells in the body of humanity, like we're not these separate entities, right? And there's something called coherence, right? Like heart coherence. Um,
Right.
it's like when we get it literally on the same like wavelength, brain waves are kind of the same, our heart rate starts to match up, like our electromagnetic fields, like via our hearts, are
Right.
coherent and like constructive interference.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. And it makes me think of like what we're doing here with Reality Bender community. It's like
Right.
getting people together and creating an energy, a vibration that we can immerse ourselves in. Um, because the more we live in this, like having these kinds of conversations, being around other conscious creators, this is, it's a flywheel. Um, and that's something that comes up for me is like this call right here, I think eventually there'll be more people, but like
Yeah.
it's it's just having that open door, having like the office
Right.
hours, like
Yeah.
always, we're always on. We're always on. This space is always here. You can always come here and like immerse yourself in this and have these conversations.
Yeah.
So that's like such a big part for me is really being in that. I feel that Maharashi effect in my own life and how it's
Yeah.
impacted me. Like people talk about like self discipline and like grit and willpower, but you don't need so much of that when you're having this real relationships and accountability and you're part of that tribe.
100%. 100%. And especially this community as well. Um, being in places that you may not have those physical people around you who are on the same path as you. This is so helpful because you can connect from anywhere, and you can have that same effect of being surrounded by people who have the same vision, who have the same point of view, who have the same perspective, who have the same goals. And it's that same
Mm,
effect. It's that same effect. It doesn't matter if you're in Iowa, you don't have to be in one of the major cities. You can come into communities like this and get that same benefit.
mm. I want to make Reality Bender a platform, and I want this platform to empower you and me. And bro, I want you as a coach here, man. Like I think
Mm,
you're just like the kind of energy that we want here. And
mm,
like I don't know how that looks, but what I definitely see is like I don't just want to create Eric's community. I think like there's more than enough room, there's more than enough for everybody. We can create something powerful together. And what I want to see this evolve into is like, you know, there's like a certain core group that are of a certain level and rank, right? Like there's a core group here, right? Not everybody shows up to the
right.
meetings. Some people are constant. These people are very valuable and they know a lot. Like the Julias, the Hatties, the Aarons, the Joshuas. Like I need courses from these people. I
Mm,
want good, like well created courses, like high quality,
yeah.
so that this becomes a hub. And one of the things that I see is, sorry, is yeah, more of a platform feel, right? Kind of like high quality, like there's just so much value here and so many rabbit
Yeah.
holes to go down.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm all about it. I'm ready to be a part of it, and in any way I can. I love seeing it grow. I love meeting new
Mm,
people on here. Um, so yeah, it's super valuable. Um, hey, I did have a question as a side note that I've wanted to ask for a little
yeah.
while. Um, so you had one video go like 1 million views, super viral. I just wanted to know, like, what was that like for you? And was it something like, I didn't expect this to go, it
Yeah.
was just a riff. And why do you think that worked so much? And what was that like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that video that's on my pin video has like 1 million views. Um, I didn't expect it to go viral. I don't expect most of my content to go viral. I just kind of go and post, and like if it
Yeah,
goes viral, like I had nothing to do with it.
right.
I just
Yeah.
go for it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I'll talk about two things. First of all, like my internal state as I was recording it, and like what is the context, and then how it affected my business. So
Mm,
let's talk about the internal state. So that day, I went to a gorgeous coffee shop, like really high end, expensive coffee shop, and I just got
mm,
like a $3 coffee, like black coffee. I don't need anything else. But I was just in the opulence, gorgeous
mhm,
coffee place, beautiful like fireplaces around me, gorgeous people, like healthy
mm,
people. They were just
mm.
vibrating, and I was just in that energy
Yeah.
and I entered in that energy, that opulence. And so I got into my car and I was like, I just turned on the camera and I was like if you're not already going to these gorgeous locations, don't expect them to just come. You have to place yourself in there and like get in that energy in order for that to propagate in your life.
Yeah.
And because I was so, I don't know, maybe I was so like full of that energy that it just kind of
Yeah.
transmitted, and people felt it and it took off.
Mm,
So that was like the internal context of like what the
yeah.
heck was going on there. Because I had just applied that for my life. And that
Mm,
week I'd gone to like a gorgeous museum as well and like just marinated my mind in there. Environment's so important. Now, what it did for my business, bro, I got hundreds of leads. It was insane. Like
mm,
hundreds of downloads of my free lead magnet. I didn't really have a product up. Um, right now I have the community and I'm kind of like funneling
right.
people there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like a week straight, it was just like I'm getting like 100 downloads a day of,
Yeah.
or maybe even more.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, TikTok paid me like $500 for that video, like
Ah,
just for going viral.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so does that answer your question? That was kind of the context.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. And that aligns with what we were just talking about too. My thoughts of like the energy, like people feel the energy of it's not always about exactly what you're saying. It's like how you're coming on, how you're presenting yourself. And you were speaking from direct experience, and in embodying what you were saying. And people can feel that too, because there's a lot of people who, from what I've seen, that will just, consume content. And I've been there too. I'll consume content and then I'll just immediately start talking about it instead of really embodying that and implying that into my own life experience first. It comes off completely differently, and people
Mm,
can tell when you are embodying what you're saying and what you're talking about, and there's a lot of people talking about how to get rich, on TikTok who are
mm,
not there yet. And you can, even if the information is valid,
mm,
people can feel that there's something off about this. They're
right.
not embodying that. So I think that
Mm,
was a great perspective on your video.
mm. Yeah,
So
it's
thank you.
both, right? It's like, yeah, but at the same time, there's not that much method to the madness. Like, I also just like bust out my camera and freaking spiel
Right,
and talk. And
right, right.
I think we have to do that. Like it's not always about, yeah, obviously how you feel is important, but just getting the reps in, and
Hmm,
the right, like you find what ideas people like and you do more of
right.
that and you find what hooks work well.
Hmm,
So it's like balancing, yeah, hooks and like talking about like being persuasive and stuff like that,
hmm,
but also energy. Like
hmm.
what are you feeling at that in that moment? We can't go fully into either of them. We have to find the middle way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Super cool. So
This is where you ring
sweet.
the gong.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yes. Yes.
You want to do 10
Um,
breaths?
sure. Yeah.
You're familiar with Wim Hof, right? I think we talked about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. When you do Wim Hof, do you usually do mouth or nose?
Mouth
Yeah, me too.
when I'm
Okay.
laying down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we won't go too ham. Let's just do like 16 breaths.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then on the last one, instead of exhaling and holding, we'll like inhale and hold.
Okay.
All right,
hmm hmm
let's do it. Here we go. Fully in. Or more. Fully in, all the way in, and hold it at the top. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles, belly, the chest. Just relax into this. Thirty more seconds. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, dude, get high in your own supply.
Oh, really? I mean,
Mhm.
seriously. I mean, I've definitely explored the other ways and ceremonies and things like that, or working with plant medicine and stuff. And like those have their benefit and those have their place. And if you feel called to them, like by all means. Um, but what I've found in those experiences is they were just teaching you how to access that within yourself, through the breath,
Mm,
through presence, through meditation, you know.
mm,
Um, super powerful stuff. And that was just 16 breaths, you know, so quick. So
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Yeah, I've had powerful experiences just through breath, like literally, like I didn't know they call it uh, the God molecule releasing in your pineal gland.
Right.
Um, I don't know if it is. I don't know. I haven't read the
Mm,
research, but that's
mm,
something that people throw out a lot. Certainly, it
sure.
feels that way.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. Yeah,
hmm
moments where I just totally leave this dimension and I'm like in bliss, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, why would anybody do any like you don't need substances for to really feel, you have the pharmacy in your body, and the reason these things work, these compounds work, is because they bind to receptors in your
Exactly.
brain and in your body.
That's right.
And if there's receptors in your brain and body, that means you already have these substances floating around there, and you
Mm,
can turn them on through
that's
things like
right.
breath and Yeah. Shakti pads.
That's right. Do you have a bed of nails?
I
Have
do.
you ever done that?
I have a Shakti pad. Do you want to see it?
Oh, is that? Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
show
yeah.
you.
Yes, yes, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I have a similar one as well. Yeah,
Yeah, you lay on this
that's
puppy
so nice.
and you get the pharmacy ignited
That's
in the
right.
body.
That's right. That's right. You do that with breath work? Oh my gosh.
Have you tried that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm always exploring like, okay, how can I combine this? What am I, like using myself as a experiment,
That's
but yeah,
funny.
it's super powerful. Super
It
powerful.
like opens up all your energy channels, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Like
it's like
for me,
like acupuncture,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, things like energy channels, like what the hell does that mean? I used to be so
Yeah.
kind of resistant to that language.
Yeah.
But if you want to look at it just like physiologically,
Yeah.
we have like tiny little capillaries, in our cardiovascular system. We have like nerves back there. And like when you get that stimulus that's like kind of painful, you activate all these like wonderful pleasure hormones in your
That's
body
right.
that are like painkillers and anti-inflammatory, and you get more blood and oxygen and warmth.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's so it's like, yeah, obviously those are energy channels. That's energy, bro.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I'll tell people too when I'm like doing qigong or teaching other people to do qigong. I mean, I admit like it looks like I'm doing nothing. It doesn't look like anything. All I can speak to is I feel different after I do it, you know? Like I don't, the science and everything is great, but I really base it on does this work for me or
Yeah.
not, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, the Taoists, they figured it out, man. Like, just that's just qigong. Like these things work on the level of like the energy
Tai
body.
Chi. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and
Mm,
we don't fully understand that stuff. Like, we talk about like telepathy. Um, I feel quite confident that this is all just part of the nature of reality, and like in the same way, electricity is something we discovered and we learned about, and like
yeah,
Wi-Fi, the
that's right.
invisible information flowing in the sky in the ether.
Yeah.
Telepathy is the same way, and somehow like
Yeah.
minds are connected.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you think
And
of
same thing with all this
somebody, all of a
energy.
sudden they call, what is that?
Mm,
That's not nothing,
yeah,
you know? Um, so absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
that kind of integration of that understanding of things like telepathy and intuition awaits for us after this next dark ages and like new enlightenment that I think is coming. I think we're
Yeah.
entering kind of like a chaotic period.
Yes.
Following that, we will have an enlightenment that is like 1,000 times stronger than like the last one. It's going to
That's
be a
right.
Cambrian explosion of like creativity and mind. And I think with that will be the integration of things like telepathy and energy and
Yeah.
like intuition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you talk a lot about AI, and I think AI has a big part to play in that, when we can have more time to actually focus on these things and sit with ourselves and do this deeper work that most of us have never felt that we had the time or the energy for because we're too, focused on other things in the daily routines. I think, if utilized correctly, with the right mindset, I think AI has a big role to play in co-creating that with us, helping us with that.
Yeah. There's infinite ways to live life,
Hmm.
and there's infinite resource in the cosmos. Like think of all the asteroids with like platinum and like all this rare precious material that we can
Hmm.
use. Like why not a world where, we have like infinite energy because we figured out like nuclear physics, and we have like a really good understanding. We have like perfect batteries, and
Hmm.
we can just like store energy, and like we have like robots that help us do like all the work, and we can just focus on self-actualization. I think that that is a possibility for us. It's just such a forward concept to like our young civilization. because we are young. We're 10,000 years old as a civilization, but
Right.
we can live a million years. Like, why not?
Hmm.
And we're just
Hmm.
getting started on that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And there's a little bit of a rabbit hole there, but I mean, Tesla has paved the way. There are others who paved the way for, the fact that you can get free energy, so to speak. Free energy is everywhere. Like we're talking about with our own energy channels, like we're talking about with the energy of everything, being able to harness that free energy. I think it's not that the technology is not there, in my opinion. It's that, are we as a civilization ready for that incredible power and responsibility? And and will we like promise to not like, you know, kill ourselves with it, so to speak,
Yeah.
or kill, use it for nefarious practices,
Mm,
um, like that. So
mm.
we have to
I-
kind of make that decision collectively.
yeah, absolutely. I heard something like this is by a physicist named Nassim. I think it's Nassim.
Harriman?
Yeah, man, that guy's on. I love that guy. Like he talked about how in 1 cubic centimeter of space-time, there is like space, just the fabric of space-time is energy, right? Like the quantum froth. Like how is it you get all this stuff on top of it? It's because there's like potential energy there.
Mhm.
In 1 cubic centimeter of space-time, there's like enough energy to power like civilization for like a billion years or something insane. And it's not an energy problem, it's a conversion problem. Like
Yeah, right. Right.
imagine, dude, okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot. Engines have been getting more and more efficient,
Hmm.
right? Like engines used to be like old combustion, like
Yeah, yeah,
dirty, very
yeah.
inefficient, right? That's because we're dealing with like impure like
Right,
combustion, right? That it's not a good energy exchange. And then they get
right.
like better metals and like better fuels that burn better and like it's more pure. The chemical reactions just better
Hmm.
and they're a little more efficient. Um, but I think that there's like three levels to the universe we can say.
Hmm.
There's the macro level, which is like, and we've been able to manipulate the macro for a while. Like you have a block of wood, you can chip it away and make like a little wooden mug out of it, right? Because we can manipulate macro bits.
Hmm.
Then there's the digital bits, the virtual bits that we
Yeah.
found out how to manipulate using ones and zeros in like computers and
Mhm.
code. And we found out how to manipulate this like this virtual environment we've built.
Right.
And yet there's one yet further, which is
Yeah.
quantum bits, qubits, which is
Right.
us being able to manipulate not the macro, not the virtual, but the very fabric of space-time and reality itself.
Hmm.
And quantum information science is like something that's cutting edge right now.
Hmm.
And what it's going to allow us to do is um, manipulate the fabric of reality. And with it, I think comes creating machines that allow us to, like engines that are just like
Right.
infinitely more pure and like efficient than like a
That's
macro
right.
combustion engine. It's like, it's just feeding off of like the fabric of
Totally
space time.
solid state. Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's not so many parts in it.
Right.
Kind of like how we have solid state drives now. And that's like,
Mm,
so much better and more efficient. Like it's the same thing. I
yeah.
always feel like we are creating, things on the outside that actually are symbols of how the internal or the quantum actually works. You know, these
Mm,
telephone lines, these Wi-Fi, television, like all these things, radio,
mm,
are all representations of physical representations of how things work on a quantum level, an internal level.
yeah. Man, this quantum conversation is so powerful because I think like people throw the word quantum a lot. But I mean, it's like, no, there's actually something there. Um, there's something called quantum sensors. And this is
Mm,
something that's like just discovered like this year, something crazy. Um, basically, these scientists were at Sandbox AQ, which is Sandbox Artificial Intelligence, Quantum Information Science.
mhm.
They're kind of merging AI and quantum.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out a way to make have you heard of this or what?
No, no, it
Okay, you're
sounds
just
cool
like
though. Yeah.
grinning. Basically, we figured out how to manipulate macro a long time ago. Then we created like bits in like in a I don't know computer chip that
Right.
allow us to manipulate the virtual. They
Right.
wanted to create um, a quantum bit, right? And a quantum bit is like you can fit 1,000 bits in a quantum bit.
Right.
Or sorry, you
Okay.
can fit 1,000 quantum bits in a bit. So it's like really
Okay. Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you you get so small um that you're no longer playing with like, you know, 1 and 0. Now it's like superposition because you're messing around with like the bottom of like electron density around like an atom. So like an atom doesn't have
Yeah.
like a perfect distribution of electricity. It's like it
Uh-huh.
can be off a little bit. So you get these superposition effects where things kind of get gooey in quantum physics.
Yeah.
So they were trying to create sensors down there at that level.
Mm,
Um, but the problem is it was so sensitive because any
mm.
microwave radiation, any like radio wave, your freaking phone signal would trigger
Uh,
these quantum, little microchips, quantum
yeah.
chips. And so they're like, screw it. The thing is, it's really good at like detecting quantum radiation. So like, or just electromagnetic radiation. So we're going to call it a sensor. So
Yeah.
now it's a sensor because it was just too good
Okay.
at detecting. It was just too sensitive, right?
Right.
So it makes a
Right.
good
Right.
sensor.
That makes sense.
So basically, what we're able to do with these quantum sensors is capture all that quantum data, like electromagnetic radiation from, say,
Mm,
the light from your body.
mm, mhm,
And we're able to store that data in machine learning.
mhm,
You're putting off a lot of energy. I don't
mm,
fully understand exactly, I can't fathom all that data,
mhm.
but I don't need to.
Right.
Because theoretically, with quantum sensors, I can capture the entire quantum fingerprint that is Joshua and
Yeah.
put it into machine learning. And
Yeah.
the AI parses out, oh, this is noise from the neon sign. This is noise from like his phone. Here's the pattern of Joshua. Here's
Right.
the quantum data.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking we could do with this is we could propagate it into a virtual world. Okay.
Mm,
Right now, we're having a conversation,
mhm.
but I'm seeing only your like your light,
Right.
only like the like light and audio,
Uh-huh.
but I'm missing like the other like the quantum underlyings, right?
That's right.
So what if you could capture all that data of your actual ripple in space-time and like put it into the virtual ether?
Mm,
Um,
mhm,
I think my whole claim here is that quantum sensors and like quantum information science allows us to open up new space-time because
mm,
suddenly a virtual world is not just like, oh, we're looking at each other through like light. It's
mhm.
like, no, this is an actual whole new quantum world because we propagated that signal.
Yes. Yes. I love that. It sounds a lot better than the metaverse to me, you
Mm.
know.
What's the metaverse?
That sounds well like the Facebook metaverse,
Right.
where I mean I've only seen like I haven't actually been myself. I've only seen like videos and screenshots, but it seemed a bit cartoonish to me, and it was like more 3D like avatars and stuff. Like what I feel like you're saying is you can actually feel my light and see my light. So it's another version of being in the same place or the same space and time, but on another level.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like right now I'm like transmitting my data through just visual, but like what if I could
Right.
like take all the everything that I am from a quantum level and like put it in there? I think
That's
you open
right.
up new space time and we just start traveling the multiverse,
Yeah.
entering
Yeah.
new dimensions. All right, bro. I think I'm gonna bounce here because I
Yeah.
have some other calls here coming
Yes.
up.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But
Thanks for the time. Thanks for the great talk.
any final words for the Earth?
There is immense opportunity on the other side of your fear. Your fear is always guiding you. It's your friend. It is letting you know the next step that you need to take. So, looking at fear as your friend and not your enemy will serve you very well in progressing through your life.
Pithy like Seneca, concise.
Hmm.
I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. You know, I think some people were enjoying it here. I challenge you to do the same. You know, like it's imperfect. The quality is
Yeah.
not as good as we would like it to be ultimately, but consistency above quality in the beginning. We just have to pump it out there.
Yeah.
Um, and this is the beginning. Like this is our content journey, right? We just had a
Hmm.
really good podcast. So like I'm gonna get this downloaded and I'll send it your
Yeah.
way so that you can do with it as you wish.
Beautiful. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you.
All right, Joshua.
All right. Talk
Peace,
soon.
bro.
Peace.
Peace.